Welcome to The Explainer. We are diving straight into a deeply overlooked geopolitical and operational threat today, the digital kill switch. We're going to explore a very modern and honestly kind of terrifying nightmare. What actually happens to your organization when the critical software, cloud services, and vendors you absolutely depend on simply vanish overnight? To really grasp the reality of this threat, let's look at French International Criminal Court Judge Nicolas Gail. After the U.S. directed sanctions at the ICC, his entire digital life was revoked instantly. Expedia canceled his reservations, he couldn't take a local train, his financial and digital access were just gone. As he put it was like being sent back to the 1990s. It's a massive wake-up call about exactly how fast digital banishment happens. So here is our roadmap. We'll start with the digital kill switch, map out the anatomy of your tech dependencies, and look at the cascade of failure when suppliers disappear. Then we'll map your vulnerabilities, quantify the risks, and wrap up with actual strategies for survival. Let's get right into it with Section 1, the digital kill switch, geopolitics meets IT. You have to understand, this is not just some sci-fi hypothetical. We've already seen major providers like Apple, Google, Adobe, and Microsoft completely sever critical services to regions facing sudden sanctions. In Venezuela, Adobe deactivated user accounts, which literally stripped creative businesses of tools like Photoshop overnight. In Russia, Microsoft suspended access to critical cloud products, and automakers suddenly restricted diagnostic software for local dealerships. These aren't just minor IT glitches, they are paralyzing systemic events. When US-based Maxar Technologies restricted satellite imagery to Ukraine, it directly hampered their air defenses and drone pilots right in the middle of an active conflict. We saw Starlink access threatened over mineral deal negotiations, and back to the ICC, a top prosecutor's email was straight up disconnected by Microsoft due to sanctions. The big takeaway here? When geopolitical pressure mounts, your suppliers might be legally forced to pull the plug on you.
Moving on to Section 2, Anatomy of Tech Dependencies, the digital stack. Get this staggering number, 80%. 80% of corporate spending on cloud and software in Europe flows directly to US companies. That is a massive and largely unacknowledged geographic concentration of risk. You might look at your organization and think your software portfolio is diversified, but underneath it all, it basically flows back to a single jurisdiction. Because your exposure isn't just sitting in one app. Non-EU companies control the absolute most critical, foundational layers of the European digital stack. We're talking raw cloud infrastructure, dominated by AWS, Azure, and Google. We're talking operating systems, Android, iOS, Windows, controlling nearly 100% of the market. Even the cybersecurity tools meant to protect your organization, your firewalls, your SIEM, your identity management systems, they rely heavily on external vendors.
This leads us directly to Section 3. When suppliers suddenly disappear, the cascade of failure.
Let's walk through a timeline of disaster. This shows how rapidly your organization collapses when a SaaS vendor goes dark, turning a basic IT disruption into a full-blown operational nightmare. Day 1, boom, you lose access to core platforms and data. By day 3, business continuity completely stalls, and your revenue is severely disrupted. Hit day 10, and you're locked into a frantic, incredibly expensive scramble to rebuild your core infrastructure from scratch. And by day 30, now you're getting hit with regulatory fines for failing IT outsourcing compliance. Because you don't own the infrastructure, when your supplier fails, you fail. To put a real price tag on this risk, consider this. One e-commerce company had to spend over £400,000 just to recover a single core module after their software vendor went into administration. This highlights the immense, completely debilitating cost of assuming your providers are permanent. Your SaaS dependencies are a massive core business risk now. They are absolutely not just an IT procurement checkbox. So how do we find these risks? Section 4, Mapping your vulnerabilities, looking below the surface. Think about the wildly complex supply chain of the energy sector for a minute. IT and operational technology are just deeply intertwined across upstream controls, midstream grids, and downstream billing, with highly specific cybersecurity solutions applied to every single layer. To identify your own organizational vulnerabilities, you have to build a map exactly like this. You need to disaggregate the layers of your digital stack and locate the choke points where a single vendor failure could bring down your entire operation. Once you actually map your environment, the risks become incredibly clear and honestly a bit scary. You'll probably find outdated operational technology, like industrial systems still out there running Windows XP without modern patching. You'll see deep cross-border interconnectivity, meaning a localized partner incident cascades straight into your network. And most importantly, you're going to find a severe lack of visibility into third-party code and hardware. If an upstream vendor is neutralized, that blind spot pretty much guarantees the failure spreads to you. Section 5. Quantifying Risks and Consequences, the Assessment Framework.
To protect your organization, you need an evidence-based framework to separate the probability of an event from its catastrophic impact. For example, a geopolitical kill switch or sudden sanctions might only have a low to medium likelihood, but the consequence is severe. We're talking instant loss of critical infrastructure. Conversely, vendor bankruptcy is a high likelihood event with high consequences, bringing stalled continuity and massive recovery costs. A supply chain cyber attack sits at medium to high likelihood with the threat of a ransomware cascade and fines. Extraterritorial data access, like the U.S. Cloud Act, is a medium likelihood, medium consequence threat involving data sovereignty breaches. This matrix is exactly how you start prioritizing your defenses.
Let's talk solutions in Section 6, Strategies for Survival, Building Operational Resilience. You literally cannot just hope for uptime anymore. You must shift to actively building exit strategies. First, leverage automation for cloud exit assessments because manual reviews are just too slow. Second, prioritize open standards to actively fight against severe vendor lock-in. Third, treat SaaS resilience as a board-level requirement by building it directly into your core business impact analyses. And finally, negotiate robust legal protections for business-critical applications before you sign the dotted line. Which brings us to the ultimate safety net, a software escrow agreement. This is a three-way contract between you, your supplier, and a neutral third party. It essentially grants your business the legal right, and just as importantly, the technical means, to access a supplier's source code and data if that supplier fails, goes bankrupt, or vanishes entirely. It ensures you possess both the legal authority and the physical code you need to rebuild, no matter what happens to your vendor. I want to leave you with a provocative thought to take right back to your teams. Examine your vendor portfolio today and ask yourself a hard question. If your absolute most critical software supplier vanished tomorrow, do you truly have the legal right and the technical means to survive? Are you actually in control, or are you just renting your operational survival? Thank you for joining me for this explainer, and stay resilient out there.